Hi, and good afternoon. My name is Lucy Aquino, Chief Executive Officer of Hispanocare, a program of Advocate Illinois Masonic Medical Center. And you are watching a television show program brought to you on CAN Cable 21. During the next 25 minutes, we are going to be discussing Concordia Place. Joining me today is Nyla Diab, Director of Strategic Initiatives
Yes.
at Concordia Place. Allow me to welcome you on the show.
Thank you so much, Lucy.
Thank you for being here. Now, I know we've had Concordia here before, and it was so interesting with all the things that Concordia is doing in community and for community. It's just, I needed to bring you back.
Thank you.
I just don't think that our viewers and community don't know enough about Concordia, all the wonderful things that you're doing there, but most especially the services that you're providing.
Oh, yes. Thank
Everyone
you.
needs to know about that. Now, I know, Nyla, that Concordia began its journey back in 1981 when it was Concordia Lutheran Church, right? It created its first child care center.
Correct.
Back in that time. And it was doing it for the purposes of struggling families back in the day when there were very few daycare centers and single moms and moms in general looking for daycare, and they just were not to be found. I know that you're going to tell us more about that, but do tell. I mean, there's so much interesting information that I want you to share.
Sure. So like you said, we started, almost 35 years ago. Next year, it'll be 35 years that we've been around providing quality, high-performing early education, and so much more. Like you were saying, our teen leadership programs, our senior programs, our adult English language learner programs. So we've been involved in that for quite a number of years. We have a location in the North Center community and one in Avondale. As you said earlier, we were approached all those many years ago by three single mothers. They came to Concordia Lutheran Church. The church was contemplating actually closing at that time, as was the case with many urban congregations. They were kind of faced with the hard questions of how to continue serving the community. They had just called a very young pastor from seminary, and they had about a year's worth of income to support the church. And these three single mothers, not members of the church, not Lutheran, came to the pastor and asked them if he could help them find programs for after school for their children so they would have somewhere safe to go. And the pastor had many reasons to say no. We've never done childcare before. There's so much that goes along with it, but said yes. And in that moment of saying yes is when Concordia Place was born.
Wow. Now that was Pastor Nicholas Zook, right?
Correct. Yes, Pastor Zook. He's our board chair now.
Oh, well, I'm glad to see that he's still there and doing such wonderful things. Now I know that you can get into the mission about Concordia because it's definitely, I want our viewers to know what your exact mission is. But it's nice to know that the founder is still there and still doing all those wonderful things for community. And I want to obviously cover all those wonderful services that you provide. So there's just so many of them. So where do we start?
Well, we can start with our senior programming. Our senior program is our senior wellness program. And to go back to your original point of our mission, it's really focused on creating involved communities where all of our neighbors can gather, can learn, can grow, can be a very dynamic environment where people can come in and meet their full potential. Whether that's through, as I was saying a moment ago, our senior program, where our senior wellness program works to help seniors age in place, I think is a term that many people use these days, and also to help them avoid social isolation and be independent longer, which are very important things for our seniors to feel connected in the community. We also have our teen leadership program, which is focused on developing our leaders for tomorrow. So our teens participate in a wonderful program that helps them develop skills that really transition them into the real world and help them become very successful. And then, of course, our early childhood education program that is a NACI accredited program. NACI is an accreditation that is very difficult to achieve. It's a national standard of excellence for early education. And it's also Accelerate. It's a Gold Circle Accelerate certified program. So we're really focused on excellence in all the things we do.
I was really taken back and so excited about all the wonderful things that I had not visit Concordia Place in about 15 years. It's been that long. And a while ago, I had the opportunity to come by and get a tour and look at all the new digs. It was absolutely wonderful. But I was really, really impressed with the daycare center. Watching these individual children, toddlers, and babies, infant, 3 months old, 4 months old,
Yeah.
that were there, and how well were the children behaved in addition to the interactions with the staff and everyone else. And it was just, if I still had a toddler, that's where I would want to go.
Thank you. Well, really, thank you so much for those kind words. Our facility, we think of it very much as a marketing tool, a way to attract families to get them in the door, and then we're able to show them the wonderful programming that we have to offer, the curriculum that we have designed to really help our youngest learners become lifelong learners.
Right.
We start all the way from 6 weeks and we go to 6 years old. So we can be with families from the very beginning, and new families, kind of helping them navigate what it means to have an infant and to, have this new life,
Right.
all the way up through when children are entering grammar school, and then beyond that with our other programs. So it's a real credit to our staff as well. They're very dedicated. All our classrooms have bilingual teachers in them as well, so to really provide a very well-rounded educational experience.
Now, I also know that you're also providing adult education, continuing adult education, and you're providing English as a second language as well.
Yes, we are. We have a wonderful partnership with Truman College, and last year we were able to provide, I believe, about 130 adults with opportunities to better their English language skills. And we just believe that it's so important because it allows them to feel connected to their communities, able to express themselves, their ideas, to connect with those around that. So it's just been a great way for us to also find other opportunities to work with our parents. Many of the children who are enrolled in our early child care program also may use our other programs, the English language learner included.
Now, I was also impressed with, you have a teen program that are entrepreneurial, and they actually make products and sell them.
They do.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, our teen leadership program it's really amazing. It works with about 34 schools throughout the city. So it's pulling from schools not just on the north and northwest side, but really from all the communities, from, south, southeast, west. So there's a lot of kids that are drawn to this program. And the teens, the curriculum, it's a curriculum and hands-on program. So the entrepreneurship that you were talking about, they're called the Ruckus Entrepreneurs. Actually, it's a great name that they've come up with. They've branded themselves. And there's a curriculum part of the program for some of the newer teens entering in. And then it transitions into more of the hands-on entrepreneurship experience, where many years ago, they concepted this idea of wanting to start a business and researching that, and researched what it took to develop the body care products, and have taken it all the way from developing it to budgeting it to producing it to marketing it to selling it. I mean, just really, really amazing young people that we're working with.
Well, even the packaging of it, so nicely done. I mean, they should actually be in boutiques everywhere. That's how great they look.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So we got to have them walking up and getting those contracts in those small shops up and down Southport and Ravenswood and some of these other communities I know would buy them. and have them at the stores.
They're very high quality products. Our teens and our staff are really just so amazing. They just do such a wonderful job. In 2014, we were recognized for best practice with the Illinois After School Network, which was just it was such a wonderful acknowledgement for all of the hard work that the teens do, that the staff does, that the community provides the support. So yeah, they do such a wonderful job in that program.
And you can see it, and you can see the appreciation that's there from parents walking in, picking up their children, and the staff, and how they care for them as well. And you can see that wherever I went, I saw that, and it's the place you want to be. So how is Concordia today? I mean, we said 30 something odd years ago, this place almost closed down. You didn't have childcare then, but it was one of those ideas that the pastor took on and said, okay, we're going to do this. Here we are 30 something odd years later. It's still going strong. So how are you funded today?
We're funded through a variety of different income streams. 70% of the families that we serve are low income, yet only a third of our income comes from state funding through the Illinois Action for Children subsidies. The rest of it is through our sliding tuition scale fee and through our fundraising. So just to talk a little bit about our sliding tuition scale, there there are places for children with means, there are places for children who are lower income, and they always tended to be separate. And we were beginning to see that as Concordia Place was getting more and more involved in childcare. And so we established our sliding tuition scale, which really is about creating mixed income classrooms, income equality versus income inequality, which is what you have when you have centers for children with means and centers for lower income families. And then you have the families in the middle who, don't really have a place for. So we bring all of that together with the revenue streams that we have, and it produces a very diverse classroom, very diverse learning environments that are so enriching for our children and for our families.
That it is. So can you tell us a little bit, Nyla, about the proactive solutions that help improve community?
Of course.
Concordia?
Of course. So when we talk about proactive solutions, we're really talking about meeting people on the front end of issues before they become issues. I think a great example of this is sort of how our teen program came to fruition. When we first moved into our center on Whipple in Avondale, we knew we were going to do childcare, but we were unsure of the other programming in the building. So we talked to our community, we talked to our neighbors, we talked to the civic leaders in the area, the elected officials, to really get a feel about what were the things that were challenging them. And what we heard loud and clear was that there was concern about gang violence and the escalation of that, and how to work with young people so that is not something that they ever think is an option for them, that that they don't get brought into that. And so in that moment we started to think about how we can engage teens in a very meaningful way before it ever came to a decision of what do I do after I'm done with school. And that's one of the ways we address proactive solutions.
And that's wonderful. I know that. Now you have 3 locations?
We have 2. We have our one in North Center on Sealy, and then we have our one in Avondale on Whipple.
Right. And the one on Whipple, that's your newer one.
That is.
And how many children do you house there?
We
support there?
Served about 350 children there through our early childhood program, our school age program, and our teen leadership program. So, and then we have about 70 seniors that we've worked with, and we have, like I mentioned before, about 130 adults that we worked with in our English language learner class. In total, we've served for last year, I want to say over 700 children, teens, adults, and seniors when we look at both of our sites combined.
Can you tell me a little bit about your seniors programs?
Sure. Our senior wellness program has two components to it. It has our senior fitness and our senior lift. Our senior fitness program is about helping seniors maintain their mobility, their flexibility, their independence. As we age and as our lives change, and maybe we're the only ones in the house, it becomes more important to be independent and to kind of be able to do those things that you need to do as you get older. And our senior wellness program is all about that, our senior fitness program, where seniors come into our location, our facility, 2 days a week. And they start off with some fellowship, with some coffee and some social time.
Right.
And then they do some yoga and Tai Chi. So to keep them flexible, to keep them limber, to get them moving. And then after that's over, they have a healthy meal. They have a nutritious meal. And we believe all of this is incredibly important, and especially the meal piece too, because some seniors may forget to eat. They might not be able to cook the way they used to. So we feel that being able to provide that opportunity for all of those things, the activity, the fellowship, the nutrition, are really important to our community and to our seniors, who are so important in the community. And then our senior lift program. That is our ride program where we pair volunteers with seniors in the community. Our seniors might need help actually getting to our site for the senior fitness programs. They might need help getting to the doctor's appointments, running errands. Our volunteers go through a background check process and training, so that they're very aware and committed to helping our seniors. It's a very rewarding experience for both our seniors and our volunteers. A little while ago, we received this lovely letter from one of our seniors, and I wish I had brought it with me. If I could share that story.
Absolutely.
One of our seniors who was participating in the senior lift program, she wrote a letter saying how much she appreciated it. And it was an individual who was going back and forth to chemotherapy treatments, which can be very taxing. And she was just so appreciative of the volunteer, of the program. It was just such a lovely letter to receive. And on top of that, she made a donation, which was so incredibly kind. And she said, this is for myself and for everybody out there who needs it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, I know too, that's a beautiful story. And I know those are the letters and comments that Concordia Place gets all the time. But there was one story that I heard that was really heartwarming. And that was the story of David.
Yes.
Can you tell us that story?
Of course, the David story. So David, I want to say this was probably about 2 years ago. He had two boys, single parent, with two preschool boys, and he lost his job, unfortunately. And when you lose your job, you also lose access to subsidy, ironically enough. And you either have to have a full-time job or be in school. And, at that point, he was neither. So he lost the job and he lost the subsidy, and he and his boys were eventually having to stay with friends and going from friend's house to friend's house to friend's house, and eventually living out of their car. So it was a very challenging time for the family. But what we were able to do at Concordia Place was we have our sliding tuition scale, but we also have a scholarship fund that we fundraise for. And so we were able to use some of our sliding scale tuition and our scholarship fund to help David's boys really have some consistency, have some routine, which is so important to young children amidst all this chaos in their lives. David was also able to get some support from Concordia Lutheran Church's Helping Hand Fund. So to get some clothes for interviews, some shoes, some, every once in a while, some grocery money. So really able to kind of help them through this tough time. The story has a lovely, happy ending because David was able to rely on Concordia Place for quality education and knew where his boys were safe and sound every day. He was able to get a job and a full-time job, a great job, and now gainfully employed, and his boys couldn't be happier or healthier.
That is such a wonderful story. To actually go from having everything to nothing. But thank God, thank goodness that there are people out there and organizations such as Concordia Place that can lend that helping hand. And because of that, David is where he's at today.
Yes.
And that is wonderful. And the children are happy, and he's doing his job, and he's very happy with it, and I understand. I know that, Concordia, I do want to mention to our viewers that, let me share this with them, that if you have questions or you'd like to find out more about Concordia Place, or just want to stop by and look at it, it's really a place to visit. Call, schedule a site visit, go look at it. So many programs, so much to offer. You can reach them for more information. You can call them at area code 773-463-1600. Again, that number is 773-463-1600. Or you can visit them at www.concordiaplace.org. Again, that's www.concordiaplace.org. And if you have questions for Nyla, you can get a hold of her there as well, and be happy to answer any questions that you may have. As your focus moves on with Concordia and your engagement to get more involved with community and mission, what are some of the things that Concordia is looking at in the future?
That's a very good question. One of the things that we're really looking to do is to grow. Yeah, one of the issues that parents are always running up against is just finding supply, finding access to high quality, high performing, affordable childcare centers. And we feel that we have really created a great model, not only from a mixed income model perspective, but from a curriculum, from a standards perspective. So our focus is really on how can we connect to more communities that really could benefit from our services, whether that be through our early childhood programming. How can we connect with organizations to continue the work we do with our seniors, continue the work we do with our teen leadership program. So right now we're focusing a lot on opportunities for growth programmatically with partnerships, but also physically. How can we add another center, especially in these challenging times when childcare and resources are becoming more challenging.
Childcare right now, I know you talked a little bit, 70% of families are
lower
income families. Now, I do know that, government as well provides some sort of subsidies for childcare as well, and a lot of viewers may not realize that. And for that assistance, is that something Concordia Place will accept as well?
We will accept that. And as a matter of fact, we help parents from the very beginning stages of that. We help them navigate all the paperwork, all the documentation, because it can be, quite frankly, can be overwhelming.
Right.
It can just be a lot to do, and especially as you're getting your mind around sending your littlest ones to center-based care. That's the first time for a lot of parents. So we try to be there every step of the way, helping families from the moment they walk into the door to inquire about Concordia Place, work through the paperwork to the day that they're bringing their little ones there for the first time to go to school.
Right. So the wonderful thing is that if you have a child, a toddler, 6 weeks and older,
yes,
right, is there space available?
We
A waiting list.
We have a waiting list right now. It's a really busy time of year. Parents are planning and are actually getting ready for the school year. The summer is when a lot of folks are starting to think about, well, what am I going to do come September? So we actually do have slots available in our in some of our programs. So I would encourage anybody who is looking for care to give us a call or go to our website. The information you posted was great. And we can work with them to either get them on a waiting list or actually get them started and enrolled in the program.
Absolutely. It's really impressive. Unless you go there and check it out, as they would say, it's really a place to see. what they've done there and what they've built out of Concordia Place and the services they provide community in all different areas. It's really something to see and admire.
Thank you so
It's
much,
really,
Lucy.
it really is very, very impressive. You know, our time here, Nadia, goes by so quickly, and I know that we can sit here and talk about Concordia all day, but I would love to have you back, and
Thank
we can
you.
find out about what's going on more about Concordia later on in the year, and what new things are changing, and what new things are coming, what other services may be available. We never know what else they may add to it, and I know you're always looking to expand, expand, expand. So on that note, thank you for watching us. And thank you for paying attention and to learn more about the services that are available to you in your communities. And again, to remind you that Concordia Place is a non-for-profit organization with a mission to create and involve communities where their neighbors can gather, learn, and grow. On behalf of all of my colleagues at Hispanocare, at Advocate, Illinois Masonic Medical Center, Concordia Place, yeah, thank you so much for coming
Thank
out.
you,
And
Lucy.
again,
We
we look forward
appreciate
to
it.
having you back.
For sure.
I would like to thank all of our partners. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay tuned for more information coming your way on CAN Cable 21.